opened. This was the day the completed Twin Towers. During this time, these are the same day, these two pictures were taken exactly the same day. These large boats, sailed huge training boats for the Spanish Navy, for the Italian Navy, Norwegian Navy. They were all in the port of New York visiting, honoring those towers going up. They were all, this particular one happens to be from Spain, you see. And here they were young sailors just beginning their career, and this is where they were taking their lessons for graduating on larger boats, transatlantic. In those times, those were the days of huge transatlantic. It was a wonderful time. With $300, you could take your car to Europe and back. $300. You could stay 6-7 months. If you were to rent a car for 7 months, it'd be thousands of dollars. Here is your own car. At that time, I had an Alfa Romeo. It needed repair. I took it to Alfa Romeo in Milano. They fixed it for me. So I used to put the car on board almost every year I went. So the towers were, we made a big mistake. When the towers were sent down and we knew immediately who it was who was sent down, we should have asked the Arab countries to rebuild them, order them to do it. Or we would bomb them, one after another, something. That was a declaration of war. In any other time in the history of man, this would have been a big war. If this had taken place 100 years ago, we would have retaliated with everything we had. Because we would not have known whether this was an individual or all of them together. So we made a big mistake. Who should have said that? Maybe Giuliani. Mayor Giuliani should have stood up to the Arab countries and say, rebuild them. And here I show how the great transatlantic boats are disappearing. And airplanes taking over. Because one of the hopes for these was to have landing there.
Helicopters
landing there. But it wasn't, however, a wise idea because up there the wind was very strong. And there was a helicopter at the Grand Central building where it fell over. And I took pictures of that as it was falling. I happened to be passing. It's just a picture of when they went down.
So now we're in the...
Now we are in the destructive...
destructive pictures, and you took these from the Pulaski Bridge in Long Island City.
Yes.
This particular one.
Yes.
You have so many pictures from that day, so these are just a
This is under the Brooklyn Bridge. We see the Brooklyn Bridge. Because I couldn't go New York, the mayor or whoever from Washington, The island was isolated. Nobody could go to the island. Subways were not running, trains were not running. We couldn't even swim across. They would have shot at us, you know. So how I got to the New Jersey side, 2 days later, it was to drive past West Point. And way up there was a bridge that you could go across, way up there. And I went all the way down opposite here to this picture, to take this picture. And then to go back, I had to drive way back up there, and I got home at 4 o'clock in the morning.
So that was taken from the New Jersey side.
New Jersey side, yes.
And even 2 days later, you still had all of that smoke.
For 100 days, it was like this. But I think the smoke, really, something burning, lasted 1,000 days. It was a big thing. So here we have a summation in the Museo Palace building in Astoria. What took place in those years. And he never saw it. He died 5 years, 5-6 years before. He died so young. If I can show you at the same time that this is taking place, this exhibition I opened in Rome the 9th of September, 9/9, 2011 now. I want to show you here, because here we have the picture of the you see the picture of the this was done in Rome. Now here, if you come here from New Jersey, he told me where the pit towers were to be built. They were built here, you see, like the 2- and 3-story little houses. You see the square? Exactly that. They removed all these little houses, and that's where they built this. And here you see, as the towers are going up, what I did was to take the color transparency of this model. Then I went to New Jersey and I took this dark pictures. Then I went into the dark room in my enlarger. I put this transparency together, and I got this picture. Photoshop 30 years ahead of time. Or whatever. So I believed in Yamasaki. I was lucky to have had him as a friend and to know this entire story. And eventually I may put it down with lots of pictures, because I do have pictures when the Italian works were working there and when the Americans took over, you know. And then I went, my son Frank, who was so young, and then when he was grown up, he proposed Maria to marry him on the top floor of the Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers.
And her family and my family, we all had dinner there together was beautiful.
Oh, very nice.
So I have pictures of them. I mean, here he is, a little kid, and then they lived enough for him to arrive at the age to marry, you know, and still in the towers. So I was touched by those towers. They were so immense that... Now there is another PS here. In 2001, I had come out with a book called Entering Germany. It was a book that I wanted to show how the Americans at the German occupation changed the Germans into from Nazis to decent human beings. And we did it in 5 years, and this book did that. Borders on the 10th, evening the 10th of September, asked me if I wanted to sign books. The day before I was there, signing books to people. Imagine if it had happened 24 hours before.
Imagine.
I wouldn't be here talking. So that's another thing that these towers touched me, you know. And of course I have many pictures of the interiors while they were working. I really think that no matter what they do there, the towers are not there. We should have rebuilt them. They were functional. I don't know if you saw the picture that I have at home, where you see in this photograph the metal as it melted, you know. The metal just melted. Those bastards just took two airplanes loaded with gasoline and melted the building. 2-3 floors melted away, and each floor couldn't hold the top. And so that's why, if you looked when they were going down, it was like a step. Couldn't take the weight, went down. That too couldn't, because with each one, it kept going heavier and heavier, you see. It was awful. And these were, people usually see the pictures that are black and white, but if you look at the color picture, the colors, the red, the yellow, that it's burning, you know, very hell wasn't that bad. So anyway, here is a summation of what went on.
So we have a story here of the World Trade Center before, as it was being conceived, and the inspirations, and we have a story of you doing the photography through all of the construction. And you are a man who had come from World War II and photography of war. How does all of this translate to you as a photojournalist and a man in 70 years of...
that nothing could beat World War II. This is it. I don't think man is going to do this again. But for that few hours when they came down, I had never seen anything in World War II so awful. Those buildings burning. I mean, the iron melting like ice. It's incredible. And you know, they think that they send a message. Any message that is destructive is not a message. By a message, we mean good messages. Things that help mankind, not things that destroy mankind. Don't show me how bad you are. Show me how good you are anywhere in the world. Ultimately, we're not Americans, we're not Muslims, we're not this, we're not that. We are simple human beings. Very delicate we are. We should treat ourselves with gentleness, not with this crap, forgive me. It's, we have a lesson to teach these young people who want to do evil. We don't need that. That's too easy. To kill, it's too easy. To live is the thing. And that's what I suggest for mankind to do.